Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here, and I thank the organizers of SENTE for having me on stage. And one of the major reasons why I'm so grateful to be here is that by the end of my speech, you guys are going to understand how important my work is. So I am Emeka Chiksunadi, and I am called Swim Guru. And the reason why I'm called Swim Guru is that I'm not a regular swim coach, but I am so much more than a swim coach. I am the only adaptive swim instructor in Nigeria that could handle every form of disability, every form. So it doesn't matter if you've got no hands and no legs, I could teach you to swim. And the good thing about the organization called Swimming One Day is that Swimming One Day is the only organization in Nigeria and perhaps in the world that could actually teach you to swim at the fastest rate possible and that could actually teach you to swim in one day regardless of your disability, regardless of your fear or phobia, regardless of your trauma, your age, or your body size. Okay? So now we're going to go to the topic of today's discussion. Why do we have Beyond Talk Therapy? The healing power of water facilitated by Skilled Aquatic Therapy. I said I am beyond a swimming coach. And the reason why I said that is because you would have a swimming coach and they will not be able to do what a skilled aquatic therapist can do. And that's what makes the whole difference. So a lot of people would be shocked when I tell them that I am the only skilled and trained swim, water, sea therapist in Nigeria. So that's our topic, and we're going to go to the first slide. And we're going to take it real fast, and hopefully we're able to beat time. So my journey is that I moved from Barcelona, Spain to Nigeria because I believe I have a calling. And I have been trying to move back to Nigeria for a very long time, but I always had the excuse that I have a company to take care of and I have staff in Barcelona and that there's no way on earth I'm going to leave them because I want to be a patriotic Nigerian or let them stay without their jobs. So Corona gave us a very good opportunity to do that. And I came to Nigeria for a 5-month holiday, and that's how I got myself in this mess. I call it mess because there's a lot of challenges. But when we look at what I have up there, we're talking about the journey home and what sustains the fire against overwhelming odds. I got a fire. And the reason I've got a fire is because when I was a little boy, my mom took me to the Cheshire home and she dumped me with the children in the Cheshire home and she left me there to go shopping. And I would play with the kids at the Cheshire home and she would come back and pick me after she's done her shopping. And the reason why my mom did that was because she wanted us to know that we were privileged and that we're not better than anyone else. And she wanted to foster a little bit of love for us with people that are less privileged than we were. So that's how I developed my love for people living with disabilities. And I've been an activist all my life, so I fought for justice for people living with disabilities for quite a while. But apart from that, I fought for other causes that are close to my heart. Communication beyond words. So when we talk about what I'm talking about today, I want us to understand what really happens. Communication without words happens when you have water therapy and you have a skilled aquatic therapist that is able to maneuver the person and move their body around in such a way that they are able to harness the power that God has already put naturally in the water and make them well. And not in all cases do we heal you completely, but in a lot of cases, what we do with water is that we give you relief and comfort. But a lot of maladies, we're talking about people that doctors in Nigeria would have told that they will never ever get well again in their lives. They will never be able to walk. We have a situation that you're going to see these people actually have a real chance of being able to walk and being able to have a normal life again if only they got water therapy. But it's shocking to me all the time I talk about it that in Nigeria, with all the money we have and all the education we have, I am the only skilled water, swim, sea therapist. So we're going to go down to the challenge. I'm just giving you a brief of everything and then we're going to go fast. The challenge that we have here and that I have had since I got here is that resources is scarce. Nobody understands what I'm doing, so it's very strange to them. So they look at me like a rare species. We sponsored all of this on our own. I have been the chief sponsor. I've spent my life savings doing it, and I will do that over and over again in a habit because I love what I'm doing, because every day, part of my biggest sustenance that keeps this fire going is when I look into the faces of those children and I see how much their lives are changing. And the power that water holds is that water is the only thing that directly impacts the brain. And I tell you that we're a psychiatrist, where a psychologist is not able to touch the person, water can go in and do the work. So now we're going to look at my slides. This is the index, this is a summary before we start so we can go through the slides really fast. Next slide, please. So when I look at this, you see that little boy, his name is Sukami. Sukami is my baby. Sukami has cerebral palsy. And Sukami cannot move on land, guys. He cannot move on land. But what I see here is a Sukami that cannot move his hands at all, even in water. But he had limited movement with his leg in water, and we put him in water. And what does Sukami do? Sukami was listening to me while I was teaching other people, and Sukami was able to learn to actually blow bubbles on his own. And Sukami was able to listen to know when to hold his breath. So now, if you go to my website or my Instagram and socials, you're going to see Sukami kicking away and swimming. And the last time he did a whole length. And he has cerebral palsy that is of a severe nature. So that means that on land, he's completely dependent on his family. So why I'm showing you Sukami is because I don't know if you guys know the statistics. 1.3 billion people in the world have a disability, and Africa has the most. And when we think about what we could do with swim water therapy, we could change the life of people living with disabilities completely. So what do we have as a people? We have so much evidence, scientific data. You all could go and Google it. Swim, water, sea therapy is the best, the most valuable by far that we could all use to change the faces and the future of our people living with disabilities. Next slide, please. Now we talk about the scarce resources. I don't know anybody. I moved here and I started an organization and I thought, I don't know anybody. We're going to make it a movement because we're trying to solve an African problem. As a movement, we're going to get as many people involved to join us. And that's where you come in. Everybody could be a partner and we could do a lot united as a united front. Then we have to fight for support. Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs and the Ministry of Education gives us 5 schools. And they don't give us no money. So we have to fight to try to survive. And we are doing that. But together we are still going to fix that. Community understanding. I said it earlier. People don't understand what I am all about. They're like, this man is crazy. But the good thing is that we've got loads of breakthroughs and testimonies, and now we are able to show this is what happens when you give a child that never had hope swim therapy. Next slide. The answer. My children give me the fire to keep going. The life-changing impact that we already can see now is giving me the fire to keep going. Children have a great path to a great future. And this is why I left my life in Europe, where I had my organization, and I moved here to make sure that we change the narrative. Because I live in Europe, and if you go to Europe, you're going to see that the people that live in Europe have a completely different lifestyle when they have a disability. Why not for our people? Next slide, please. Now we are talking about the unique agency of water, and I want you guys to understand there are so many misconceptions. On Saturday, we're going to start our first podcast, and we're going to be talking about some of the things that people should know about water, and you could ask all your questions, but gravity on land goes against a lot of our children living with disabilities. And what we don't understand is that even someone with multiple sclerosis, severe cerebral palsy, they cannot move on land. When I put them in water, they start moving immediately. And I have said that to a lot of parents, and they didn't believe it. And when their children started moving, they were like, oh, what? But apart from that, we gain a lot in water, and then we transfer this to land. And that is where we got the first greatest miracle we ever got, where Damilola, he's 5 years old, cerebral palsy, never walked in his life, got 1 month of swim therapy with me, and now Damilola walks. You can see him on my website. The mother is beyond the cloud. And when I told her it was possible, the mother was like, what? She said, are you serious? I said, go to my blog on my website. Read about it. And when you read about it, you will understand the science. And for adults with stroke, high blood pressure, and depression and anxiety, when you read about it, the connection with the mind on my blog, when you come in for a session, you are going to heal 10 times faster than you would if you didn't understand the science behind it. And water gives us buoyancy as human beings. So you have gravity here. Everyone with a disability, when they get into water, and everyone without, there is buoyancy. Water actually liberates us and gives us the freedom that being on land doesn't give us. I am an endurance swimmer. I do 5 hours of nonstop swimming at sea without food or water. And I can tell you, I am much more comfortable on land, in water, than on land. Next slide, please. Now we're going to talk about witnessing the liberation in the water. Look at that. If you look over there, that's a child with cerebral palsy. He cannot really walk on land, but when you put him in the water, he is walking. His name is Hakeem. He goes to the special needs school called Atonolu. And that's the Sukhumi boy that I told you that kicks his way, his hands behind his back like that because he cannot move it yet. So do not think for 1 minute that we're not going to make those hands start moving, because water therapy, sea therapy, and swim therapy could actually not just unlock movement and make people start moving, but it unlocks speech in nonverbal children. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask God. It's a miracle, like some of the parents term it. But I say to them, it's not a miracle. It's science. Read about it in my blog. It's just science. God puts the power there. I'm lucky to have the knowledge so I can harness the power and use it to heal you. But if you don't know, you don't know. And that's why a lot of swim coaches in Nigeria may not be able to do what I do. But I will tell you what I do, and you will see it play out in real time. That's Awele, and she has spinal dystrophy, and she is getting healed too. Next slide, please. Now, we're talking about communication beyond words, and Deji is an amazing example. Deji is the most successful case ever that we've had. Deji was born deaf, nonverbal, with a physical challenge, so he doesn't walk properly. Deji got blind at 26, and his world was shattered. I have never dealt with anyone with so many afflictions. And what happened to Deji was crazy. His mother was in tears. She thought his life was over. And what happened? They came to me. They said, can you handle him? And I do not know how to say no. So I said, bring him on. And because I have handled people with all those things separately, I am also very, very knowledgeable. So I knew that, okay, I can handle him, even if I could not communicate with him, because as soon as he got blind, he was in shock and he lost sign language. He couldn't communicate with anybody anymore. He tried to kill himself so many times. He had anxiety and depression and everything you can imagine. And Deji is that young man that you guys see there. First class, he learns to basically swimming one day with no communication whatsoever. Third class, he was thriving even better than before. Seventh class, Deji was jumping into the water and swimming in the deep end on his own with no communication. Now, Deji doesn't want to kill himself anymore. Deji does not have anxiety anymore. Deji went on Christmas holidays with his mom, and the mom came to us and she gave a beautiful testimony that you're going to see on our Instagram page. So we're going to leave Deji and go back to the slide and try to finish up in a few minutes, okay? So we're going back to the slide. Deji's our best case ever because people didn't believe it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen because I believed in my skills because I have done it, but I've never done it to that level. Now we look at what we're talking about here, the conversation of movement. If it's a skilled therapist, they know what to do. If the people are not skilled, bring all the swimming coaches you want in the world, they would not know what to do or how to get you there. If you have a stroke or you have something, they could take you there in 20 years. Okay? So we're going to go to the next one. Yeah, we're going to go to the next one. Next slide, please. So in water, we have kinetic guidance that helps us to make things easier. And Ebuka is autistic, and now his parents are so happy because he's more social and he's speaking up. So if you look at this, you'll find out that this is something typical about a lot of autistic children that are nonverbal. People think that they can never speak. Just without no physical therapy or no other talking or psychiatrist, he's able to start speaking because it's an environment that we're able to provoke him to speak. And that's the job of a swim therapist. Next slide, please. SID Africa is the only one of its kind in the world, and what we're doing is completely great because we've built the first swimming one day SID Junior Paralympic preparatory swim team in Nigeria. And we are taking our kids there. And we have a 3-time gold Paralympic medalist as part of our team. And we are global ambassadors for the Swim Global Project. And we're working closely with La Sauda to make sure that we all get this. Next slide, please. And we have 3 pillars. We're the first charity that combines these 3. We are a movement, a social movement, and we are a campaign. I talked about it earlier. We are a public awareness campaign, and our job is to keep talking to everybody until everybody understands the importance of this. I've been to the GTB conference, and I was like shocked that there was nobody talking about this, because this is by far the most valuable and the best treatment that you keep to any child with a physical disability. And we're almost at the end, and this is the evidence. So this is Dami Lola that I talked about earlier. After 1 month of therapy, he started walking. That's his mom dragging him on. And this is our hero. This is our hero with one leg that I talked about, Femi, the one I talked about earlier. And these are kids from the blind school, Pacelli. And we have over 70 kids swimming in the blind school. The first time in history that we are having an inter-house sports with blind people. And they are not just swimming, they are doing somersaults, finding objects at the bottom of the pool, and they are doing handstands with their legs up in the air. And we're going to the next. This is my call to collaboration. We want to be able to work with everybody. We love to work with everybody because this is the first of its kind that this is happening in Nigeria. We've seen so many testimonies that you'll find on our social media. And then this is proof that we cannot just have something good that will help our people to feel better and do better, but we can scale. And this is not just regular therapy, guys. This is really a miracle. And when you experience it as a regular person, then you'll understand. Next slide. So building a continent where no one is left on the shore. I want us to work together. You could go onto there and you will be able to get our page. I want to show you a Femi video. We talked about Femi. Femi is going to be telling you in 2 minutes what happened to him. And afterwards, we're going to see another 2 minutes video. Is that okay? Oh, please. Is that okay? You guys want to see the video? Yes! We got a vote. Please play the video for Femi. Thank you. I want you to see Femi in real time and how swimming has basically changed his life. He's preparing to go to the Paralympics, and I hope he's qualifying this year. Go. And that's Femi. Do you have volume? Do we have volume? That's Femi with the one leg. No volume? So this is basically Femi's story. So I'm going to tell you. Femi had an accident. One of his legs was crushed like that. And Femi's world turned.
Part of him gone.
Now listen.
His world went quiet. The friends who once filled his days drifted away, unsure what to say. Anger, shame, silence. He felt invisible. A call from a swim in one-day charity initiative. A strange new possibility. He stepped into waters he'd never known. In water, the weight fell away. He felt a new kind of freedom. 3 days, 40 lengths. He outpaced them all. Respect replaced doubt. Where pity had once stood, admiration grew. He became their hero. 3 hours in the open sea. No food, no drink.
He had 3 hours after 12 classes with me, swimming at sea.
Being invisible was suddenly everywhere.
I feel like a hero.
He actually said this in an interview.
He trained with fire in his bones. He wasn't just swimming for himself. He swam for a nation. From loss, he found wings. From isolation, he built a circle. This is the power of inclusion. Not charity, but possibility.
Swimming has restored hope and put a real smile back on my face. I'm Femi Egbomo. I'm 17 years old. I lost my limb at 12.
So this is Femi's story. And now we are looking at Damilala, the boy that walked after 1 month of therapy.
And Damilala wants to break my head off. Damilala wants to break my head off.
This is day 2. Day 1, he was crying like crazy.
He's enjoying. He's not crying today. He's a big baby today. And the big baby that doesn't cry. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, jump, jump.
Finally, let's go.
Dummy, dummy, dummy. Dummy, dummy, dummy. Jump, jump, jump. And let's go, dummy. Let's go, dummy. Very good. Go on your own, dummy. Swim. Very good. Move your hand and your legs. Kick. Very good, dummy. Very good. Continue. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Kick. Kick, dummy. Kick. Very good. Very good. And raise him up. Oh, yes, that's our boy. Let me see his face. Dummy, you have to smile now. How was that experience? That was good. Give me 5. Give me 5, dummy. Come on, give me 5. Ah, that's my boy.
And that's the
Dummy
mommy's
keep walking.
testimony.
This is Dummy walking. This is Dummy walking. And Mommy, you said that Dummy started walking after getting swim therapy for the first time, right?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it was when he started swimming therapy. That's when I was able to hold him to walk.
Because you were encouraged by the swim guru so that all the gains he made in the water were transmitted to land. Thank you so much. Demi, do you want to say bye-bye to the people? Hi, say bye-bye. Okay, great. Okay, I'll see you in the pool.
Important note. Prior to water therapy,
Damilola could not stand or walk. The power of swim water therapy could not be underestimated. Save a life with a scholarship. Sponsor a child now. Better safe than sorry.
So I would invite all of you, thank you so much. I would invite all of you to go to Swim in One Day and check out Deji's story. We have day 1 till day 12 of Deji, and you're going to be shocked. So the idea of what we're doing is that in real time, in a country where we have loads of rich people and people that can make a difference, we do not have something that is very common in developed countries. And now my appeal to you is, why would it be that we learn only bad things from the West? Why do we not learn good things to make ourselves better? So if everybody could join us in this campaign and movement, I believe that things are going to be much better for our kids. Thank you so much.